welcome to the stream. Hello, little block, welcome. Yep, you made it back. Glad to see you. You like the starting soon screen. It's new actually. I didn't use one for the first pretty much 5 months of me streaming. Even though people asked for one a couple months in, if I really wanted to make it really good, I wanted a cute animated one. But that was too hard to do, and I have to learn how, and it's taking a while to do something good. So turns out learning art takes a little bit of time, and you have to actually put in effort. So I've been using that starting soon screen for a week or so. Yeah, it's just off of videos that I got on Canva. They have a bunch of free videos you can use, and so I just put those together. And the sound is I think from Epidemic Sound that I have. So yeah, so not too carefully created or anything like that, but it's just something to give people some time to get into the stream, and because people were kind of tired of missing the first few minutes of the stream always. So I figured starting soon would be important, and I just put that one together for the meantime. But glad you like it. I'm still working on maybe a better one, or one with slightly different tone to it for different games. Luckily that it sets a good tone for the games that I'm currently playing, this one and Paranormasight. So it kind of worked for these, but other games it might not quite be the right vibe for, and I'll try a new one for that. But yeah, so but yeah. So tonight is the Life and Suffering of Sir Brante night. Back with this game, which is significantly longer than I originally thought. I thought it would be a one stream situation. Turns out it is... I don't know how many streams I've been doing this for now. It's I think we're at number 8, maybe? Something like that, stream 8. You interned at a film company for a bit, so you might be able to make something? Oh, I'll think about it maybe. I think I'm happy with this one for now, and then we'll see. I'm gonna try to see if I can, draw something myself, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll definitely reach out, and it'll be on the list if I'm looking for something else. Thanks for the offer. Okay. That's part of the reason why I don't commission stuff from anyone, is because I honestly don't even know. I'm a little overwhelmed. I don't really have a lot of artist friends or know anyone. I'm not really in those communities. I'm in writer communities, because I'm a writer, so I know people who write, but also I write myself, so I don't need that. But I don't really know much in the artist film kind of space, so I don't even know where to start. Even if I did want, because my vtuber model is just a Vroid model for free. Some of my outfits though I paid a couple dollars for on Booth, but for the most part it's pretty much free. And I would commission someone to do a live 2D model, but I honestly don't even know where to start with who an artist would be to do. So, oh, it'd be free. You're just out of high school, so you're still getting experience. I would still wanna pay you something at least. You need to charge. Just not as much, but you would still need something. You gotta pay people for art. Because if the problem is if you don't take money for it, then now if you did it without me asking for anything in particular, and you just did it and you're here you go, you can use it or not, then that'd be fine. But you need to ask for something, because it sets bad standards for the community in general. It lowers the competitive rate, as it were. So you're actually doing the community good to ask. So just so you know. But yeah, when it comes to like art and stuff, I don't know a whole lot. Should we do a 2D? Okay, I'll look into that. I don't know if I want to like put money into it right now. Again, I kind of, because I'm just like overwhelmed with like the options again, I guess, and not even knowing where to look for people to do it, and not being familiar with the process of like asking, and not, I like don't typically commission art, so I don't really even know the process of like working with artists, and like gonna be kind of anxious about that. So for now, I'm going to try to learn myself, but we'll see how far that takes me. But okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll look into him, and see what he can do. But yeah, I don't even know what I want exactly. So I'm happy with my current model for now, at least. But if I myself don't do anything in the meantime, perhaps for like my 1-year anniversary in January, perhaps I will do something else. If you do, let me know, and I'm a friend. Okay, you're a mod and a friend of his. Okay, yeah, I'll look into his stuff and I'll let you know if I like it, and then maybe you can reach out and get it set up. Yeah, thanks for offering. Thanks for the suggestions. It's super helpful. Like I said, don't have a lot of connections and stuff with that myself, so I appreciate you facilitating all that, and giving me information. Information is very crucial and important, so thank you very much. Okay, let's get into the game. Now that I have homework, looking up stuff, I'll do that later. But okay. So, Life and Suffering of Brante. Again, this is like stream like 1 million, what feels like, of this game. It's been like I said, like 8 streams or so maybe. But it feels like a lot because I thought it would be a 1 stream game. And it's not. So, because they talk about it being like replayable, which I looked in the Steam achievements, and there are so many achievements that you can get in this game, and it's clear that like you replay it to go down different story paths and things, like there are clearly a bunch of different paths and different endings and different just events that can happen along different paths that you can experience, and it is like designed to be pretty replayable, but and that's what made me think that it was like a short game, but it's not. So like if you replay it, you're gonna put a lot of hours into it. But and partly also because I'm reading everything out loud, that's what makes it a little longer. But you know, it's still a heftier game than I thought it was going to be originally. Okay, but let's continue. This one, right? No, this one. Okay. Oh, but we're nearing the end of peacetime, heading to the revolt. So we're starting. We're starting to get towards the end. I'm gonna continue. We're 26 years old. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink before we get started. Okay. It's justice for all. Oh, right. I think we're working on the trial or something. We're somewhere about the trial. Our goal is still to convict OTTON of dueling, which is illegal in this world. In this world and the real world. And he's been dueling people, and he's been doing a lot of bad stuff. So we want to convict him and get him found guilty, because he must be stopped. He's a complete jerk. He's the commander of the army, and we don't like him. A legion commander. And we're a judge and like a lawyer. So we're gonna get him for this. We're putting together a case. It's a long multi-year process. And that's our goal. I'm like turning aside a lot of other things I could be doing, a lot of other paths, success in other areas of my life, in order to try to convict OTTON. That's like, I want to at least do that out of this. That's in this life, in this run through of this character in this game. I want to convict OTTON. I have to. He's a menace. Okay. As you approach the steps of the prefecture today, a line of Legion soldiers wearing red cloaks bar your path. They are the personal guard of the provincial overseer. Has Gaius Tempus graced you with his august presence? You enter only after presenting your judge's signet to the guards. The common room of the prefecture is small, quiet. I cannot read today. It is remarkably quiet and deserted. All petitioners have been chased away. The judges and gendarmes do not dare to leave their offices. Everyone is afraid to breathe. The overseer, the emperor's own brother, has arrived completely unexpectedly. The guards standing watch say you are expected at the prefect's office. You are escorted upstairs. Elborn is visibly anxious. The honored guest is there. Reclining in the prefect's comfortable chair, his crimson fur-trimmed cloak cast over his back, is Overseer Gaius Tempest himself. You bow deeply to the Overseer. He quickly acknowledges your presence with a quick nod and turns back to Elborn. You need to head off. It's likely a different time zone, but you really have streamed as well, and might check out this. Okay, it's not very expensive. And it's pretty cool, actually. It has, like I said, like if you like story-rich games where choices do matter and really affect the gameplay and paths you can take, this is a good one. As opposed to like it being a visual novel you just play all the way through with nothing. This one actually does that, but yeah. Alright, well, see you around. I'll be streaming next on Saturday if you want to stop by, otherwise some other time, perhaps. Thanks for stopping by and chatting, and thanks for the advice for art and stuff, so I will look into that. Hope you have a good evening and a good few days. Okay. It turns back where we're at. Yeah. Okay, so Gaius Tempest, we read all this. Okay. So we have like a relationship meter with him, and I've been a little bit confused because we haven't like met him yet, so like our relationship is going up and down with him, and relations, okay. Yeah, we have Gaius Tempest, and I'm like, okay, we have +1 though, but I've been a little confused because I'm like, who is this guy? Oh man, I remember her. Whoa, what does she even have to do with anything? There's a lot of people when you think about it. The captain? I thought we were on good terms. We're still on 0. Shady past and shadier acquaintances. I've never gotten that. I never got that impression at all. Huh. How about that? Okay, well, back to the game. Family, house. Oh, right. Last time we killed Steven, didn't we? Oh, yikes. Yikes. that was something. That was something for sure. Okay. I remember that. Right. Okay. Moving on. Oh no, I don't know his voice. Well, we'll just use the same voice as him as we do for half the other people. Well, Elborn, I am positively incensed to see that what has become of the city under your care. I put you in this seat to instill order under imperial law, but you have given the commoners too many freedoms, and now they are revolting against their lot in the emperor's rule, plotting, forming secret societies, and now an explosion in Anisote, an attempt at on the magistrate's life. Everyone in the city is talking about how some group called the Last Straw. This is unthinkable. Elborn accepts the blame without any sign of emotion, but you notice the muscles twitch behind the wrinkles on his face. I have ordered the secret chancellery to deal with this Last Straw, but their leader, a low-born woman named Sophia, is still at large. Last night I ordered a Legion squad to set a trap for the Sophia. We almost had her, but then an Archnean appeared and attacked the soldiers. Elborn glances at you, confused, an unspoken question in his eyes. Did you hear that, Brante? An Archnean, defending a low-born woman, but how? Indeed, Prefect. One Anthony Fess, a young Archnean of little note. It seems he now values low-born insurgents more than his high birth, his honor, and his loyalty to the imperial dynasty. Baron Elfero of the secret chancellery has been tracking him for quite some time. The young man began mingling with revolutionary rebel and has since lost his mind. Now he swings his sword about in defense of the rights of common folk. Let us leave the insurgents to the secret chancellery. That is their duty. What concerns me, however, is Anthony Fess. My legionnaires were nipping at the insurgents' heels, and then this Archnean appeared and murdered 5 soldiers. Those poor souls were utterly flummoxed, unsure whether to fight back or humbly accept their death at the hands of an Archnean. The mind boggles, Your Eminence. An Archnean has broken the law for the sake of the common estate? May I assume Your Eminence has a plan for this, Sir Fess? Would that I had even a semblance of a plan. What a sordid predicament. Anthony Fess is a traitor who has committed a great offence against the crown. Yet he is an Archnean. I shudder to think what might happen were he to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. This has never happened in all the province's history. The Archnean dynasties will not tolerate it, and Archduke Melanidas will be swift to take advantage of the situation and undermine my authority in the province. It's true. Your Eminence, the law of the Empire is the same for all its subjects. Perhaps it would be better to have its power demonstrated once and for all. Sir Fess challenged more than the soldiers of the Legion. He challenged the rule of the Emperor himself. Elborn, what did I just tell you? Prosecuting an Archnean would represent an even greater threat to my authority. Find another way. This Fess is young and hot-tempered, so push him to the breaking point in the courtroom. Get him to draw his sword. Let everyone see him for the dangerous traitor he is, even for an Archnean. This would be an unforgivable transgression. Not even the Archduke could dispute a verdict against him. Gaius Tempest's gaze focuses on you. You do your best to show no emotion and remain as invisible as possible until the Overseer gives you permission to speak. Judge Brante, you are here for a reason. You will handle the prosecution. I'd rather have Sir Prefect deal with this mess of a case himself, but he is too powerful to risk it if it fails. Rest assured, many nobles and Archneans will demand you set him free no matter how much evidence you have against him. The traitor Fess must be punished, but I ask you to ensure that my reputation remains untarnished. I have no intention of going down in history as the Overseer who allowed our inviolable Archnean rights to be compromised. That would be crossing a line. Prepare your case. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat in the blink of an eye and walks out, escorted by his guards. For a few seconds, utter silence fills the prefect's office. Then, at long last, Elborn feels he no longer has to restrain himself. He blames me for what is going on. Me, his most loyal human. No, I will do everything I can to have that criminal punished. Do you realize how much it will advance our case, or our cause, if we can get that Archnean condemned in a court of law? This is the only way we can instill the rule of law in these lands, Brante. The Overseer insists that the trial be scheduled for tomorrow. Anthony Fess has been located. He was found and surrendered by gendarmes on the street. However, he did not resist and gave his word of honor to stand trial. You barely have time to prepare the charges before entering the courtroom. The normally half-empty seats in the courtroom are crowded today. The highest ranks of the aristocracy and the most noble families and dynasties all focus their gaze on you as soon as you step inside. In the depths of the courtroom you notice Octavia Melanidas surrounded by her retinue of young ladies. The Archduke's daughter watches the trial unfold with a wry, indifferent smile. You ascend to the podium. Prefect Elborn himself presides over the board of judges. The courtroom doors swing open and the defendant Anthony Fess enters, escorted by gendarmes. The young Archnean is dressed in a defiantly modest garb for his status. No embellishments, no jewelry, just a simple linen undershirt. However, he still carries a sword, as expected from a high-born noble. You read the charges as procedure demands. Sir Anthony Fess willfully caused the lesser deaths of 5 soldiers of the Legion, thereby allowing a number of the last straw insurgents to escape unpunished. Murmuring fills the courtroom. The Archnean's large, dark eyes watch closely, catching every motion in the hall. Then suddenly, Anthony Fess interrupts you to speak for himself. People of Anizote, I was not brought here by force today. I broke the law, and I am ready and willing to be held accountable before you all. I fought those Legion soldiers, and I killed him. Did I violate imperial law? Yes, I did. Yet, does anyone even bother to count the transgressions committed by our rulers on a daily basis? Why does this law exist, if no one follows it? I do not accept a law that offers no salvation from eternal tyranny for the common estate. By my birth I was given the power to rule over humans, but if suffering is all that rule brings, then I reject it. I am ready and willing to sacrifice my very life for the sake of justice, so that all citizens of the Empire will begin to respect the law. I say we try him. I say we convict him. He's ready to go. And he knows it's for a better cause. Like, he gets it. Like, we're like, oh, allowing us to do this is going to allow us to try, even though it's like, oh, like, he sided with the rebels, so he's a rebel himself, and it's, in a way, we are siding with the establishment. However, this sets a precedent for us in future to turn on the establishment more and more and more. So it actually is a tool for us to use in the future, even though right now it looks like we're siding with the people in power. It actually isn't, and he gets it. And so hopefully he and the Last Straw and Sophia and all of the other people, especially Sophia, because we're friends with her, and also the Last Straw, and, I don't want the rebels, because we want to side with the rebels, right? We want to side with the commoners. So hopefully they understand that by doing this here, like, he understands that he's a martyr and he's like a sacrifice, what he's doing, and I appreciate that, and hopefully they understand as well. And even though I feel bad convicting him, however, like, he gets it. He doesn't feel bad. That's what he wants me to do. We're on the same side and we have the same goal. We're seeing eye to eye, and that's good. So hopefully we can convict him without anything going horribly wrong and without too much cost to ourselves. It might hurt our career or our standing somehow. Our family reputation. No, that's not it. Personality. No. House of Brante, this is. Yeah, oh yeah, our reputation is extremely low. Ooh, our unity is only 7. That's not great. That's because we killed our brother, so I can see how that might be the case. Our wealth is okay, so hopefully we don't get more poor. And our reputation is horrible, so that can't get worse, to be fair. So, okay. The young Archnean's words, loud and desperately audacious, sparked turmoil in the courtroom. The stunned board of judges is at a loss for words. The gendarmes freeze in confusion. And the nobles are terrified. You hear their screams. Madam, pull yourself together. You're no commoner, you're an Archnean. Or madman, sorry. You pull yourself together. You're no commoner, you're an Archnean. The courtroom is on the verge of exploding with tension. The gendarmes try in vain to placate the audience. The board of judges looks to you. As the prosecutor, you must continue reading the charges against the defendant. The fate of the rebellious Archnean is in your hands, but do you have what it takes to make the most of the situation? Ooh, yikes. Oh, I can't find him guilty. Oh, hey, Shy. I'm good. Yep, as always, don't forget to hydrate. I know. I'm gonna take drinks between little chapters, so that way I have time to remember. But yeah, hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing good so far. Okay. Provoke him. Oh no, we die if we provoke him. We can't do that. We have to acquit him? What? Okay, we can't turn to Octavia for aid because she's not. Oh, because we have to be friends with Archduke. I don't want to be friends with the Archduke. You're doing good. That's good. Okay, but that's not what we want to do. We want to. I know. Seeing Octavia here made me feel good. I was like, oh, we can. She's here. She can help, but she can't help. Okay. Find him guilty. Why? Because our reputation isn't. Oh, I wish we had patronage of the powerful. Man, that'd be useful. But we don't have a high reputation, which is not good. Man, this is clearly the better option. It does hurt our career, which is what I thought, but now we can provoke him. But this is extremely bad. Ooh, but this one's even worse. This one's not good at all. I definitely don't want to quit him. Oh, provoke him. This is what Gaia said to do. Provoke him so that it is clear that we have to find him guilty. Oh, but this means one of our deaths. We don't have many deaths to spare. This would be our 3rd. Our next one would be a true death. Oh, man. This is not good. if we acquit him, a lot of bad things happen. Manipulation is up 1. We also get more death. Our reputation goes a little up at least. That's good. Justice goes up, which we want. And career goes up. But this one, at least we get Protector of the People. But our career goes down and justice goes down significantly. Our wealth goes up, but our relationship with Elborn goes down, and that's not good. I'm gonna provoke him. Like I said, I want to find him guilty, and this will help us find him guilty, so we're gonna die. I'm going to regret this. I'm going to regret this a lot. As passions in the courtroom are running high, you prepare yourself for what is about to come, your hand clutching at the hilt of your sword, your eyes studying the young Archnean's heated face as he fervently affirms the justice of his position. Then you announce that the prosecution must continue to read the charges against the defendant. The courtroom grows quiet, and you continue your opening remarks. Sir Anthony Fess has publicly declared that he does not accept imperial law. Does this mean that Sir Fess is willing to take any life in this courtroom for the sake of his cause, just as he took those of 5 Legion soldiers? I have as much faith in your law as you do, Your Honor, but I would never kill anyone just cause. Without cause. I fight for the common people. Slowly you approach the defendant, your hand ready on the hilt of the sword. Then it seems Sir Fess is not truly willing to go all the way for his cause. Is he not ready to prove in public to everyone, without fear, that the law must not be obeyed? You do not speak those last few words. You scream them in the Archnean's face. No, you continue. You are more than a traitor, Sir Fess. You are a coward and a liar. That's the first actual direct quote I think we've had in the whole game. A grimace of pure hatred contorts the young Archnean's face. He draws his sword and attacks you in an instant. Everyone in the courtroom freezes in terror. How dare you call me a liar? I'm not afraid of you, nor of the Legion, nor the Emperor himself. Anthony Fess assaults you in a storm of slashes and strikes. You parry them furiously, but you cannot withstand the strength and skill of an Archnean. He presses you to the wall of the podium, all eyes on the fight. The gendarmes rush to your aid, but the Archnean's blade flashes so quickly they cannot even hope to approach you. You mount your last defense, your strength failing. The frenzied young Archnean strikes you down with all of his fury, almost as if he sees you as the embodiment of all injustice in the Empire. You are too slow to parry his next blow. The steel sinks into your heart. With a burst of chilling pain, it shudders and stops. A lady's muffled scream from deep within the courtroom is the last thing you hear. Died again. Alright, I'm gonna take a drink. Okay. How unfortunate. Third death. You are surrounded by an immense grey void. There is nothing but shadows around you, the spectre of your decisions, the spawn of your personal will. You see before you all your victories and defeats, all your errors and hopes. Another shadow comes to life by your side. As you gaze at these elusive, moving silhouettes, you recognize your last action. This is the true death, not true death. This is the death you have chose to face, knowing what fate was to befall you. This is the decision you made. The shadows keep spinning and dancing around you, the footprints of every step you have taken since the day you were born. A colossal figure looms over them all, your future, true death. You can no longer deny its imminence. It has always been there waiting for you. Now you are only one step away from it, but you will take this step yourself. The familiar, gigantic figures of the twin gods appear from the void to meet you. They effortlessly lift your tiny soul and hold it in their hands. You have always been in the twin gods' hands. Their will created you. The elder did not grant you his love, he forced it into you. The younger shaped you according to his law without giving you a choice. An enormous whirlwind arises in the void. The twin gods release you into it, and the torrent of an unfathomable will whisks you away. You are merely a minuscule particle of this universal tide. This will is the sole determiner of all events, past, present, and future. Your puny actions and choices are nothing in the face of the force this torrent harbors. You whirl in the cosmic vortex of the twin gods' will until it casts you out. You careen back down to your earthly life. It is only now that you regain your ability to act. You see all the wills of the universe entwined in a perpetual struggle against one another. Which will you follow? Does this change anything? Will we follow the will of the elder god, who brings love to the world, the younger, who brings law? Earthly power, abide by the worldly manifestation of the law and the will of the authorities, are blood-tied, no. History has a will of its own. You must assume the position that was assigned to you by this will. Or my own will. Interesting. This is our last chance at life. So which will are we gonna follow in our last bit of life? Our own will or the will of history? Those are the two I'm narrowing down to. You must assume the position that was assigned to you by this will. Will of history. The only will you are willing to live by is your own. I feel like we don't have that sense of freedom in this character. Like, we have things we want to do, but they're like things we want to do for the sake of the world, right? Like, we want to convict OTTON because of all the bad things he's doing. So it's not really like our own will per se. So I think I'm gonna go with history. I feel we've been like crafting this character to want to be a part of history. So we'll say we'll follow the will of history. You fall into an endless web formed by the wills of the mortal world. Now that you are free of the cosmic vortex, you can finally exert your own will and make a choice. It feels like a first grasp of air after being suffocated by an alien will, the will of the gods. But for your chosen will to be incarnated here in this world, one decision is not enough. You will have to follow this path to its conclusion, to turn this will into reality, by way of your decisions, deeds, and actions. Your eyes snap open, and you sit up abruptly. The crypt is spinning around you. The stagnant stench chokes you. You got out. You succeeded in preserving yourself against the whirlwind that was tearing you asunder. The will of the twin gods have commanded you to continue your existence. You feel the urge to fall flat on your back and cackle madly. You are back. Okay. So we wanna fulfill our role in history, you see. You return to life upon the slab of stone set in the center of your family crypt, naked, blank, reborn. A massive silhouette in a heavy cloak leans over you. It takes you some time to recognize your own father. At last you have returned, son. You had found him guilty, but at the cost of your own life. Were you prepared for this? I do not know, but your sacrifice was not in vain. The Archnean Anthony Fess has been exiled to the Northern Isles. His entire family estate will go to the Overseer. After the assault at the courtroom, no Archean could say a word against it. He was convicted of treason and conspiracy against the crown. Needless to say, this is a singular occasion for our province. Gaius Tempest is pleased with the way you resolved the trial against the Archean insurgent. We have received a letter expressing his gratitude. Your career is sure to soar now. Your family is favored by the Overseer. Our family is favored by the Overseer. Now we must use that favor wisely before it is gone. But just think of the sheer scale of the situation you have gotten yourself involved in. The Archean sentence is the talk of Anazote. Everyone saw that the law has power over the higher race, though the common folk still bemoan the fate of the only Archean defiant enough to fight for their cause. As you walk up the stairs out of the crypt, you cannot help but remember the young Archean's eyes, the way they burned with a righteous flame, the way he risked it all for the common estate. In the end, Anthony Fess was sacrificed for justice, although it was not the kind of sacrifice he had in mind. Yeah, I think it was. It just, made it so that people couldn't be upset about it, which is fine. And I sacrificed myself, too. Thank you very much. Can't forget that. We both sacrifice, and that makes it feel fair. Okay. But justice is doing really good. Commoners are protected. Our career is pretty good. We're solidly in judge territory. We are not a future prefect, but, you know. That's fine. We're not in a dangerous position. That's what matters, because we can use this to our advantage. Our reputation is +1. We're tarnished. I mean, that's better than before. Manipulation is up a little bit. That's good. That might be useful in future. Our willpower's down to 20, so... And we have 3 deaths, which is, like, yikes. Our last one kills us for good, so we better not die again. I'm gonna take a drink. Oh no, our mother! Deathbed. Deafening silence fills your home. You are standing by Mother's bedside. So are Father, Gloria, and Nathan. For an entire day, Mother has been feverish, barely conscious. Gloria never leaves her side, not even for a minute. Nathan has even stopped drinking so he can offer your sister his awkward help. Mother's health deteriorated greatly over the past year, and the fighting in the family home has dealt a great blow to her. She has been bedridden for a month. But isn't Gloria in our family now? Aren't you happy? Hooray! She doesn't look very happy. You have been to every doctor and folk healer, but no one can help her. They all tell you the same thing. Lady Lydia's life is in the hands of the twins now. If she passes away, she will not come back. And so you wait by Mother's bed in sorrow, hoping that she will regain consciousness. There is a long silence that no one has the courage to break. Then at last you hear Nathan's meek voice. Mother, it's me, Nathan. Can you hear me? Mother suddenly rises on her elbows. She looks around, her eyes unseeing, beads of sweat forming on her pale forehead. My son, where are you? Nathan takes Mother by her thin, emaciated hand. She leans closer to look at him, struggling to recognize his face. Stephen, were you playing in the garden? Were you playing with your younger brothers in the garden? You must be all dirty. Come here. You may not be my son, but I care for you as though you were my own. Oh, what a nice, happy family we have. A blessing from the twins. Nathan is unsure what to do or say. Father strokes his wife's hair. His eyes are 2 orbs of searing, indescribable pain. You're a little confused, Lydia. This is Nathan, and the children are all grown up now, remember? Mother's eyes were bright and alive just now, but the next moment they grow dim again. Her head falls weakly back onto the pillow. You're right, my husband. The children grew up, but I was never able to teach them how to live in peace with each other. I let you down, Robert. You made a mistake when you took me into your home. You saved my daughter and me from a life of poverty, but how did I repay you? Gloria cannot take it anymore. What are you saying, Mother? Don't you dare blame yourself. You did your best. You did your best. You did all you could. Father looks away, unable to hold back the deluge of tears. Mother's voice, so faint now, calls out to you. And sir, where is he? With great care, you move closer to Mother. You answer her quietly. You're here, right by her side. Sir, I'm so happy to know you're here. I always knew greatness awaited you, ever since you were a little boy. What a shame I won't be there to see it. I couldn't save the Brante family. I will face my punishment at my final trial. But don't worry, my dears, I am ready to stand before the twins. Lydia Brante's voice trails off. No longer a voice, just a final whisper of life. Oh, no. Will you accept your mother's death, or will you find a way to fight for her life? We can't do this? Wait, Gloria's not at home? I thought she was at home. Oh, Gloria can't be at home. And she can't be betrothed. Which she's not. But we did kill Stephen, so we can't unite the family. Whoops. My bad. Share your strength with our mother. We need more family. We need 1 more family unity point. And then our mother would recover. But that would take 10 willpower, and I'm sorry. We just have to accept Mother for a loss. And then we lose a point with everyone? Why? And our family unity is down 2? Well, because it's not 8? It goes down 2? You know what? Never mind. Screw my family. I don't care about them. I want to convict OTTON, okay? You don't understand. I have a cause. It's a thing I can do as a judge for this empire, okay? I gotta do it. Your heart aches and grows numb as you realize the inevitable. There is nothing you can do to help your dying mother. There is nothing that would give her strength. Your family has grown weak from all the spite and strife that has filled your home. Even now at Mother's deathbed, you can feel the enmity, disappointment, and anger driving your family apart. Children, accept this humbly. Her voice trails off. Her eyes grow dull. Her cold hands release yours, fall onto the bed, and grow still. The last emotion on Mother's face is a sadness born of exhaustion. A scream of despair rips itself out of Gloria's throat. We did this to her! We fought so much we killed her! Me, Stephen, sir! Nathan yelps with grief. He runs away howling. Father slowly sits and takes his late wife's hand in his. His tears flow no more. His eyes stare far into the distance, empty and bleak. Lydia. You mourn her together, but alone. You leave the house to roam the garden, empty and numb. Mother has left this world for the peak of the pillar, to face the twins' judgment. She spent all her life preparing for this journey, but now her mortal life is ended. She is no longer here. Never again will she gather her family at the table. Never again will she offer a word of solace in trying times. Never again will she greet you with her quiet, humble smile. You bury your face in your hands. Lydia Brante, your mother, has left this world. Okay, so we have +1 with our father, which isn't good. Gloria, we're still at 4. We're still good with her. Nathan, we're at 3, but Nathan's a mess right now, so I don't really care, and Lydia's dead, so. Succumbed to illness. And we're in disagreements. Look. She wasn't taking care of herself. Willpower's down 10. Oh, jeez. I didn't realize that one also took 10 willpower. Man. Things are getting bad. This game got harder all of a sudden. My consequences are catching up to me. Oh no. Okay. Your mother lost her fight to this severe illness. She will never return from the hereafter. Okay. R.I.P. Mother. Man. People just dying left and right. Alright. Take another drink. Transformation. It has been a long time since your last encounter with Octavia Melanidas. You have come to expect to run into her from time to time in the most unusual of circumstances, but Octavia has all but disappeared, vanished completely from Imperial High Society. Then one night you come home to find a letter bearing the heraldic serpents of the Melanidas dynasty. The handwriting is not Octavia's. This letter was penned by the Archduke himself. What does he want? We're not on good terms. We, Duke Tarquinius of the great Melanidas dynasty, salute you, Judge Sir Brante. We have been made aware of your relationship with our daughter Octavia, but we shall leave the particulars of this relationship for another time. Lady Octavia has disappeared. It has been 1 month since she was last seen in any of our holdings within the city of Anisot. We, Archduke Melanidas, expect you, Sir Brante, to aid us in finding our lost daughter. Tread carefully, lest you attract unwanted attention of this matter. The reputation of the Melanidas dynasty is at stake. Do not fail us, Judge Brante. The Archduke's expectation represents a direct order to find her as soon as possible. To refuse him would spell certain and immeasurable disaster. You begin looking for Octavia immediately. The building where the circle of Lautari used to gather was abandoned long ago. You have no hope of finding any of Octavia's followers there. You decide to search the prefecture archives. You spend an entire morning going through each and every case and report concerned with ancient races and rituals of old, even indirectly. After a long search, you finally stumble upon a familiar name, Alexis L. Lance, a noble from an influential bloodline. You impersonated him when you infiltrated the Circle of Lautari 2 years ago. The archives say that L. Lance was reported multiple times to be searching for another faith, and claimed that he was seeking to understand the design of the twins in his own way. You chuckle upon seeing this. The original Outlands was one of the first humans ennobled by Char Melanidas himself. The proud name of his forefather is the only thing that has saved the willful Alexis from the Inquisition's pyres. Regardless, he is your only clue to Octavia's whereabouts. You head to the Outlands mansion at once. You tell the servants at the door that you have an urgent matter to discuss with their master. A tall, gaunt nobleman with thick beard walks down the stairs to greet you, studying you intently during the introduction. His eyes seem to be locked in a perpetual state of pain, but it is different from the ever-familiar pain and suffering of the common lot. You inform Outlands sternly that you are aware of his involvement in the Circle of La Tari, and hint that his noble origins may not save him from an inquisitorial visit this time. You are looking for Octavia Melanidas. Where is she? The eccentric nobleman lets out a rueful chuckle. He is not one to hide the truth. The Circle of La Tari is here, within these walls, Outlands tells you. But Lady Melanidas is currently conducting a ritual of the utmost importance. No one may interfere. This rite will return the La Tari to this world, or rather, it will return the world to the eternal fold of the La Tari. You resolutely walk past Outlands and his intellectualizing and march up the stairs. The servants rush to stop you, but one stern glance is enough to remind them of their lot. Upstairs you hear the familiar droning chant. You fling open the massive gilded double doors leading to the sitting room. The silhouettes and gilded masks and flowing garb are here, undulating in their dance and producing all manner of strange sounds. In the center of their dancing circle is Octavia Melanidas, lying prostrate on the floor. Octavia is dying. A sea of blood has already been drained from her slashed wrists, but she is alive. You break through the circle of the La Tari followers and rush to Octavia's side. The Arctian opens her dark eyes to look at you, the world reflected in them, growing dim and faint and dim. She wheezes a true death rattle. Octavia's body melts away your arms. Long fingers rest on your shoulder. They belong to Alexis Outlands. Octavia will not be reborn, he tells you. She has left her body and soul alike. She has become La Tari. Ooh. Without a word, the members of the circle slowly part and spread out along the large room. The deed is done, says Outlands. Sending one of our number to commune with the La Tari is the most we could have hoped for. Before you can compose yourself, the creature that was once Octavia flows into the room. Ooh, she's like an alien now. Everyone falls silent, watching in wonder and awe. You can still recognize Octavia's features in this creature. It seems to float in the air, its body thinner, its skin now gilded and reflective in the candlelight, its eyes larger and bizarrely elongated. Oof. Octavia's followers cover the creature's delicate shoulders with a cloak and stand reverently before it. The creature that was once an Arachnean approaches you, slowly, without touching the ground at all. Its voice drones, remote and distant, like an echo from a faraway realm. You have borne witness to a rebirth. The one you call Octavia Melanidas is no more. The mind of the La Tari now resides within this body. The one called Octavia has cast off the shackles of your narrow world. She has awakened, now free of the blood tide, birth, and other such burdens. She sees the world as it exists in the mind of the La Tari. The only true world, for all other worlds exist within it. Neither you nor any other denizen of your illusory world can return the one called Octavia to her cage. You must leave, human Sir Brante. The one you seek is no more. Okay. We can't open ourselves to the truth of the La Tari because we did not take part in the ritual. This would make our reputation really bad, but we would get a spiritual bond with Octavia, and our willpower would go up. Okay, we can remand that Octavia be returned. But then she would have been betrayed. We can't betray her. We can let them go. Octavia flees, our reputation gets hurt, but our relationship with Octavia goes up 1. Or we can accept her. Oh, this takes all of our willpower, though. But then we have a spiritual bond with Octavia. Oh, man. I want to accept her transformation. I want to be like, okay. Okay, wait. So this is we assist that we return her. This one's we leave without interfering. Are we gonna waste our time with Octavia? I don't know if I want to use my willpower on Octavia. Like, so what if we have a spiritual bond with her? Okay, this one's I assure the now transformed Octavia that we still care for her. But she's like not Octavia anymore. No, we're gonna be loyal. We'll accept you even though you're an alien now. Weird twist. There goes all of our willpower though. Yikes, hopefully we don't like need that for anything. The creature that was once Octavia Melanidas turns away and slowly departs, as though swimming through invisible water. You shake off your amazement at witnessing this incredible creature. You tell yourself again and again that this is still Octavia, your beloved. With determination, you hurry after the creature and put your hand on its shoulder. Its body is so delicate now, so fragile, that you fear to shatter it with a single touch. The gaze of its abysmal, almond-shaped eyes is utterly inhuman. The fact that we keep saying it is like, do we really still love her, or like... You know nothing of what has happened to her, you tell the reborn Octavia, but your feelings for her remain the same. No matter what, you accept her transformation, and will remain by her side in your thoughts and actions, even if she is no longer the woman you knew. The creature that calls itself Latari reacts with a shadow of a smile that reminds you of the old Octavia. She would be glad to hear that. We thank you, Sir Brante. The one called Octavia's feelings for you were strong. She will remember you and leave a place for you in this illusory world until it burns away in the flames of her mind. You will remain connected until the world of the one called Octavia Melanidas ceases to exist. But she must walk her path alone. You cannot aid her, nor can you hinder her. The time has come for the one called Octavia to see the world anew. She wishes to bid you farewell. The Latari, this strange creature, suddenly grasps your hand and holds it to its face, inhaling the scent of your skin. Your body reacts to this touch with a flurry of emotions and sensations you cannot even attempt to describe. Finally, the creature once known throughout the province as Octavia Melanidas floats down the stairs and disappears from sight. Dazed, you watch the members of the circle part and walk away without a word. You are soon left alone. As soon as you recover from this experience, you head to Castle Serpenverta. The Archduke will not tolerate any delays when it comes to his daughter's fate. The guards escort you to the ancient throne room and the same room where Octavia once met you herself. On the throne sits the Archduke, sullen and dour. His face resembles that of a bird of prey. His lips are tightly pressed. His body is hunched and tense. You kneel before the reigning lord of the province. I have no time for formalities, Brante. Tell me what happened to Octavia. You remain kneeling, your eyes cast down. You tell him that you have been unable to find Octavia. You searched all across the city and questioned everyone who had ties to the Archduke's daughter, but it was all in vain. You have failed to carry out his order. Archduke Melanidas listens, showing no emotion, but his hand clutches at his scepter harder and harder with every word. Does he even believe what you are saying? You had a service you could have performed for me, Brante, a service that would have brought honor to your family. Instead, you have failed me. I will remember this when your father requests to be ennobled by this sword. You shall forget all ties you had to Octavia, as well as my orders, forever. The high road takes you back to Anizote, empty in the dark night. You cannot help but think of Octavia, or of the creature she has become. The creature that called itself Latari has disappeared without a trace. The Archduke's men scour the entire city but cannot find her. Will you ever see her fragile, ethereal silhouette again? We have spiritual bond. Hopefully that'll be useful. I'm really hoping that comes in useful later. Her reputation is back down to 0. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I thought... Oh, okay, never mind. It is down. It is to 0. Oh, wait, we can get negative willpower? Oh. I didn't know we could get negative willpower. That's cool. So we still have some to spare. Thank God. Okay. Archduke's daughter had transformed into a mysterious creature, neither Archaean nor human in nature. Alright, time to take a drink. Oh, this is a consequence of my previous actions. But because Gloria of House Brante, yay! Is she gonna officially join the family? The sitting room is brightly illuminated by dozens of candles. Today, the tapestry bearing the Brante family crest, an oak branch wrapped in chains, hangs above the fireplace. The petitions have been granted and the paperwork is ready. Today, Gloria will join the Brante family and become your father's lawful daughter. Gloria is standing by the fireplace, clothed in a modest black dress, quite unlike her usual trousers and men's jacket. Even her hair is braided today. For the sake of this momentous occasion, she is behaving as reservedly as she can, though she often glances at you with gratitude. Father steps forward sullenly and makes a speech as the family watches in profound silence. Come closer, Gloria, and become a branch of the Brante family tree. Gloria kneels humbly before the man she has called Sir Robert all her life. She holds his hand in front of her face, as ceremony demands. From this day forth, you shall be a full member of this family. Your fate now bound with ours. Wear your name with honor, and may the Brante family prosper with you. Gloria leaves a filial kiss on the fingers of his outstretched hand. Now rise, Gloria Brante. Slowly, gracefully, confidently, Gloria rises to her feet. For the first time since childhood, she looks and seems like your older sister. With a smile, Father at last embraces his adopted daughter as a parent. Gloria warmly responds to his embrace, then hurries to you. Sir, we're legally brother and sister now. I owe it all to you. I swear I'll never forget what you've done for me. I promise I'll be more careful from now on. I'll only do what's best for the family whose name I bear. You answer her without hesitation. Gloria has always been your family. All you did was make it official. Your sister squeezes your hand in excitement. This is her day, the day she has been waiting for all her life. Aw, see, that makes it worth it. We killed Steven, but we did it for Gloria. And that's what matters. Because Gloria deserves it. Reputation -10? That's fine. We were already at 0. That's fine. We were at 0 anyway, so too bad. Okay. I got an achievement. Gloria Brante. Yes. Conditions. The family at peace or a secret plot with Gloria. We did secret plot with Gloria, didn't we? Okay. Hooray! I'm gonna take another drink. Okay. Just a little sip. Thomas's wedding? Thomas is getting real married! Oh my gosh! I just had spiritual bonding with the strange alien, but Thomas is getting actual married! Oh my goodness! Look at all these conditions! Wow! Oh, I'm so happy for him! Okay, these are good consequences. Today is a day you remember well. It began with a loud, impatient knock at the door. You are surprised to see Thomas paying a visit to your home. There is joy on his face as your old friend shakes your hand. Brante, it's been a while since I saw you last. I just got back to the city. I visited my folks, then ran straight here. Autumn finally stopped hounding me. I sure hope that whole mess is over for good. You invite your friend in, but he gestures for you to wait, a sly smile on his face. I'm in a hurry right now, buddy. So much to do, so little time, I'll explain. I just got back from Solmina. There was this girl in the village, a shopkeeper named Mir. She gave me shelter, and I ended up falling head over heels in love with her. You congratulate your friend and pat him on the shoulder with joy. He laughs happily. My poor ma and pa. All their life they'd hope I'd marry a noblewoman. I used to hope for that too when I was young, but now I know some things matter more than noble titles. Mir's about to be my wife. You offer Thomas words of congratulation, but he suddenly grows serious. OTTON's left me alone, but Mir and I will still be better off far away from Anisote. I wasn't happy serving in the Legion anyway. I thought the nobleman's lot would set me free from suffering and do the same for my descendants, but it just ain't that simple. I was less free than ever. I'll be better off as a commoner again, earning my living by the sweat of my brow. A farmstead might not be an estate, but the high and mighty won't ever set their sights on me again. I'll live my life in peace, just like I wanted. I've got one last request for you, though, sir. You've done so much for me, but I'd be honored if you'd be a witness to my wedding vows before the twins. Of course! Oh man, we can't perform the wedding ourselves because we're not a priest. That just makes sense. It's fine. It's fine. I have no problems with that. It's a sacrifice we have to make for not actually being a priest. Bid him farewell. Okay, gotta make sure we don't click on this one. Just hovering. Just hand nod on the mouse. We get more willpower. That's good, but like, and Thomas's new life. This one's Thomas's new life too. They're all Thomas's new life. Well, we get 10 willpower for this one. Yes, we needed more willpower. Okay, this is great. This is great. Hooray. One of these must be true. We have both of them. We are at full friendship with Thomas, and we have a bond of friendship. We are friend married, and he's gonna get real married. This is amazing. So happy for him. Your hand comes to rest on Thomas's shoulder. It would be an honor and privilege for you to be a witness at your friend's wedding. Thomas glows with joy. Wonderful. You've got no idea how much this means to me, sir. I gotta go get ready. I'm so happy for him. Of course we're gonna be at your wedding, Thomas. Why would we say no? Several days later, you follow your childhood friend to a smallish temple nestled on the edge of the Brass District. He is wearing a plain white shirt. Needless luxuries are forbidden at the austere wedding ritual. You are both welcomed by the bride, a blonde-haired young woman, innocence and hospitality written across her trusting face. The bride's parents stand further away, two aging villagers eyeing the streets of the big city with suspicion. Mir, meet Sir Brante, my best friend ever since we were lads. He'll bear witness to our oaths before the twins. The bride greets you with a humble bow. The three of you step inside the temple. You close the doors behind you. Tradition demands no one else be allowed to attend the sacred wedding ritual. An amiable aged priest by the name of Ignatius Aventini meets you inside. Thomas and Mir kneel before the altar. O twins, elder and younger, behold these two as they kneel before you. They beseech you to join them in eternal wedlock. I should have done the lisp like the priest in Princess Bride. Marriage. The candle flames dance and quiver. You hear a strange murmur in the temple. The darkness beneath the vault of the temple ceiling swirls into two colossal shades. The bride and groom raise their eyes to them, awestruck. Thomas, dost thou swear thy loyalty to this divine union? I do. The bride assents to the same query. Your turn is next. Do I assent? Yes, I agree. You stand over the kneeling bride and groom and speak their names as the twins watch over you, Thomas Guerrero and Mir of Sulmina. One of the colossal shades leans over them, looming like a towering sword, while the other bursts into a beacon of blinding light that illuminates the temple from within. Thomas and Mir look into each other's eyes in amazement. From this moment forth, they are bound to one another by divine law, and divine love fills their hearts. In your sight of the twins, Thomas Guerrero and Mir of Sulmina are now man and wife, as Sir Brante bears witness. The stern, solemn ceremony is ended. It is time to celebrate. A humble but happy feast is to be held in the bride's village. As day gives way to night, you and Thomas leave the revel to enjoy a moment of quiet repose on the front porch. Your old friend looks off into the distance, hopeful. Yeah, I remember how we fought in that yard over our little brothers. Look how much has happened since then. Both of you laugh as you recall the beginning of your friendship. I'll treasure these memories forever, I will. And you can be sure that my firstborn's name will be Sir. You got it, it's good. It's a good name. Good choice. Thomas chuckles, pondering. You and I, we grew up on the same street, but look how different we turned out. You have a say in other people's fates, Brante. Your name will surely be remembered, but me, I'm still a humble nobody. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I used to be so sure man could never start over with a clean slate, but I guess I was wrong. I'll never forget you, Sir Brante, and I'll never forget everything you've done for me. A tear runs down your friend's cheek. For the last time, Thomas embraces you. Tomorrow he will leave Anazote forever. Will you ever meet again? Nobody knows. That's what he keeps saying that. Like, I'll never see you again. I'll never see you again. But just say for the last time he embraces me. So, like, really sounding like this is final. But luckily, we have some willpower. So we actually have 20 willpower points to spare. 20 more. But we only have 10, technically. So I don't know what happens. I don't know. I guess we can go below 0. It's how all the other points work, but prefer to have more. But you know what? We have 20 to spare. That's what matters, just in case we need it. Yay! Got an achievement. Soldier's New Life. Right! Yay! Good for Thomas! He's happy. That's what matters. Good for him. Okay, now take a drink. Okay. This one's not a consequence, it's just a sequence. No. It's just a con, not a sequence. Anyway, repentance. The last few months have been marked by a welcome absence of quarreling at the Brante estate. Your only concern these days is the price you have to pay for this peace. Today you come home late, wrung dry after a day of work and worry. Everyone is sound asleep. You are making your way to your bedroom when you hear a suspicious noise coming from Father's study. It is too late for Father to be working. You go to the door of the study, trying to tread softly and turn the knob. The room is brightly lit by the moon. You recognize your brother's clumsy silhouette above Father's desk in the moonlight. Nathan hears you come in and leaps to the side in fear. You see something glinting in his hands. Father's dagger! What are you doing, Nathan? Oh, sir, it's you. Shush. I just took the dagger for a moment. Don't worry, I know holding a weapon's against my lot. I don't mean anyone any harm. It's for me, actually. I have to go to the twins. Your younger brother clumsily turns the dagger around, holding it against his own body. You try to remain still. Nathan wants to take one of his own lives? But why? Because he's miserable. He clearly wants to see the twins. Like, maybe you'll get new guidance in life, right? I'm not even sure how to say it, brother. I just can't find a place in this world. I am always an outsider. Always a waste of space. Isn't there some place for me in the twins' design? I can't stop thinking about it. I've been trying to understand them for so long. How am I supposed to live in their world? What's my place in their great plan? But I've only made things worse. I meddled with the Markian sect, defied and rejected my lot, indulged in vice, but I found nothing there. The old faith, the new faith, Father Mark's heresy. They gave me all sorts of answers, but none of them worked. There's nothing else left for me now. I've got to go see the twins myself and ask them. You know what? I think he does. I know I'm an affront to their plan just because I'm alive, but I'll repent. I'll pray for their forgiveness. But the twins never forgive, you tell Nathan softly. They never have, and they never will. You will be judged in the hereafter for every false step you take. Your younger brother sighs heavily. I know. Mother taught us that all our lives, but I still have to try. There's no other way. One of my lives isn't too big of a price if it works. I can't find any use for them anyway. See you soon, brother. Hope I'll be different when I come back. A cloud passes over the moon. Father's study grows dark, illuminated only by the shining light of the distant pillar. Nathan's body contorts awkwardly. He raises the dagger, aiming it at his own heart. We can't call Mother, because she's dead. We can't protect him, because we don't have a good enough friendship with him. And our theology is very low, but that's fine. I don't want high theology. But then Nathan would be consumed by despair. Here, Nathan is hopeful if we call for Mother. Here, he's consumed by despair. Oh, but now Nathan's still gonna be hopeful. Oh, but we lose 5 willpower. But we get 1 friendship with Nathan and 1 more theology, which won't be very useful to us. But, I think he needs to do it. That's the thing. My younger brother has, in this world, you have a bunch of lives. This isn't so much as him killing himself as it is him going to see the twins. And I think he does need to see the twins. I don't know that he's ever died. I think he still has all of his lives. Like he said, he has no use for them. He's had no reason to lose any of his lives. So I think this is what's best. I think he needs to see the twins. For the good future of his future lives, he needs to see the twins for the rest of his life. It'll be better if he does. You take a step back. The life that Nathan is about to take belongs to him. He is free to do with it as he pleases. May he finally find an end to his desperate search for meaning. Nathan whispers a word of gratitude, barely audible, then a sharp exhale as he gets ready to strike. His hands guide the dagger awkwardly through the air and into his chest. The sharp tip reluctantly sinks into his flesh. A weak yelp escapes Nathan's throat. He staggers and falls, blood oozing out of the wound. Moments pass, and Nathan's body dissipates as his mortal frame dissolves. He has departed to commune with the twins. What awaits him in the hereafter? You pick up Father's dagger, carefully wipe it clean, and put it in the drawer of his desk where it belongs. When the skies begin to grow bright before the dawn, you go to the family crypt to welcome your brother back. Nathan is already there, lying atop the granite slab. Even made anew, his naked body is still just as thin, awkward, and feeble. He suddenly stands when he hears your footsteps. His eyes are shining with otherworldly light. I spoke to them, brother. I dared to address them as my soul rose up. I begged the twins for forgiveness, and they did hear me. They did. And the elder, he reached out to me. He wanted to respond to me. I know he did. But the younger sword stopped us. It cut the bond between us, and I fell. But I saw compassion in the elder's eyes as I fell, and he followed me. He shall descend to the lands again. He shall witness our suffering and bring his mercy, and then the world will change at last. Well, hopefully. Your younger brother shivers, almost convulsing with cold. You wrap him in a black cloak. Together you return home before sunrise. No one in your family ever learns of Nathan's lesser death. Nathan stops wasting time in taverns with suspicious characters. He spends every day in ardent prayer. Again and again his quiet voice speaks of the elder's coming return. The family watches the drastic change in their wayward son with great surprise. Okay. Good for him. Go and take a drink. Another year passes. Here we go. Year 1145, a storm on the horizon. We were 27? For over a year now, Anazode has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Commoners flock to the squares in droves. The mobs grow bolder, demanding new freedoms and protection under the law. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The noble gentry insisted that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privilege, sword in hand. In spite of this enormous pressure, Overseer Gaius Tempest remains highly reluctant to allow any bloodshed. But common people are already too desperate. Even the age-old fear of the nobility's might is barely enough to keep them in check. More and more people are rejecting the laws and converting to the new faith, not to mention other stranger, more esoteric teachings and beliefs, like the Lautari. New secret societies and clandestine gatherings appear every day. Printed pamphlets litter the streets. Yet no one is rushing to subdue the citizens or punish the city, for now. Father Leonard has transformed the Temple of the Silver Tree into a new believer stronghold. He is no longer afraid to break the ban on preaching the new faith. His sermons now openly challenge the old faith. It seems the Church of the Twins is unable to recognize its great mistake. The lots must be abandoned as relics of the past. The Twins granted everyone the freedom to choose their path in this world, and I will not stop until this freedom is recognized throughout the Empire. The path of the next Patriarch of Magra must be chosen by the parish, not the clergy. This is the will of the Twins, and it must be ours as well. Leonard intends to amend the old order of the Church and become Patriarch. His opponents, however, are beset by internal struggle and strife. The Inquisition is fighting a myriad of heresies, more of which appear every day. Not even the highest ranks of the faith are free from suspicion. The new faith, meanwhile, is steadily growing in numbers. People no longer fear being damned to the foot of the pillar for rejecting the divine design. The streets are restless and dangerous. Minds and souls are beset by confusion. The authorities argue and bicker among themselves. Conspiracies plague the city. Time marches on and change is coming. It cannot be stopped. Can you find a way to guide it in the right direction? The weight of a new age now rests upon your shoulders. Let's do. A family matter. For over a year now, Anazode has been slowly simmering with unrest. The feud between the estates, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the empire and noble traditions. Let's see. Wait. I want to kind of think. Wait. Okay. Just trying to remember some stuff. Okay. Feud between the two states, between the old faith and the new, between the law of the empire and noble traditions, tensions are at an all-time high, waiting for the slightest spark to catch fire and burn. Even your family's affairs have been affected by the growing unrest. It is during these troubling times, that the future of your family will be decided. Father shakes you awake early in the morning. He is excited, clutching a letter bearing the imperial seal of the Tempest dynasty. Wake up, son. Come to the sitting room. A letter has come from Overseer Gaius Tempest. He gingerly breaks the seal and unfolds the missive. To the honorable Brante family, I, Gaius of the Tempest dynasty, overseer of the province of Magra, have given... What was his voice? Not quite that. Have given due consideration to your petition to have your bloodline ennobled by the sword. You are expected in 1 week at Castle Aniri, as are the petitioners for the sword, where you shall hear my decision firsthand. We're not getting noble with the sword, I'm so sorry. After finishing the letter, Father turns to you. He looks fatigued. Well, son, it's time for us to be honest with each other about our family. What do you have to say about this? Where do we, the Brants, stand after so many years? What hopes do we have for the future of this family? It's right up in the air, I forgot. Oof. Not a lot of good options there. Okay. The past 7 years have been marked by many life-changing events. The rare joys, the frequent fights, the arguments, the attempts at peace, the losses. Sometimes you have managed to change their minds, and sometimes you have not. But your decisions have made you realize what matters most to you. The future of the Brante family must be decided here and now. Okay, so our options would have been to sever all ties. Luckily, we can't sever ties because our unity's not that bad. We can preserve the family. Gregor will not like us, but we do get more willpower. We could become members of the Overseer's entourage. Or we could have been. We can't now, but... We would have been ennobled by the sword and favored by the Overseer. That would have been nice. Our reputation needed to be above 8? Wow. And wealth above 6. It's at 4 now. But we need reputation above 8. And that's, like, not happening. And this one we would have been able to... We still need a reputation above 8. The difference here is that... Yeah. That's fine. Sorry, Gregor. Sorry, Father. But at least our family will continue. I don't really care about being ennobled by the sword, to be honest. You reluctantly confess to Father what both of you already know. It is clear what Gaius Tempest's decision will be. Your family's hopes of being ennobled by the sword are long gone. You had to maintain your family's reputation and fortune and peace at home. It all proved too much to handle. After expending too much energy resolving the strife within your family, you had little strength left for the rest. With a sigh, Father agrees. You're right, my son. We couldn't weather the storm that came upon us. Who could even hope for a hereditary title after that? I can only imagine how your grandfather must be raging in the hereafter. Good, I hate him. The branch patriarch uneasily considers what comes next. But our family is still together, still whole. It pains me to think that there were so many losses that could have been prevented. I must confess, at one point I even feared there might be nothing of us left. But we are still a family. Yeah, I mean, Mother died and I killed Stephen, but we're still a family. Very well. We will abandon the pursuit to the nobility of the sword for our descendants and tend to the Brante family itself. Yes. Nathan peeks into the sitting room. His hair is tousled. Father, sir, what happened? Nothing, Nathan. Life goes on, that's all. Your weary father embraces his two sons. The last of the embers that were once the letter from Gaius Tempest smolder away in the fireplace. Yeah, but why is my relationship with him at 0? Why'd I lose 2 points? Oh, he hates me, that's fine. Or wait, was it with him? I thought it was with father. Oh, I'm fine with Gregor hating us. That's fine. The good. Kind of wish he'd hate us even more. What comes after hostility? It's what I want to know. It was almost too much to bear, but your family ties have been preserved. The Brante family will live on. Okay. We got some willpower back. We're back at 10. We lost some for a reason. I forget what we lost it on. But now we're back at 10. It was all... Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Father doesn't hate us. Good. I was like, why am I losing points with father if he's like, oh, we still have us and I'm so happy. Oh, no. Something's happening. Or a smell of gunpowder. It's a consequence. Because we made a deal with Mayor Egmont. He's the rich guy. Who's a commoner. We said something about allowing him to use gunpowder in his mines. Okay. All of Anisote has been rocked by a gunpowder explosion. Its victims were Legion officers in charge of a punitive battalion. For some years now, they have been using force to collect the Archduke's tax from villages that refuse to pay. The common folk remember their cruelty well. Now the tables have turned. A tavern called the Three Falerai, the favorite drinking hole of the Legion officers, was blown up by a huge charge of gunpowder. Everyone in the tavern was killed. A number of people living in nearby homes were also injured. The reborn officers reported that they were blown up by an ordinary low-born girl. Before lowering her torch to the fuse, the girl cried out that now the nobles will pay for their crimes with their lives. Sophia? The power will make us all equals. Those were her last words. A legion has been brought to combat readiness. Commander OTTON plans to punish the criminal's entire home district, but the nobles of Anisote are nervous. No military training, no armor can protect them from a sudden gunpowder explosion. The city remembers that you were the one who made gunpowder available for silver mining. But now barrels of gunpowder are somehow being delivered to rebels rather than mines. Never before had the lowborn had such a dangerous weapon at their disposal. You know what? I didn't allow that to happen. I just let them use it for mining. It's not my fault that they use it for other things. They could have intercepted it and stolen it and all that. Even if it wasn't allowed to commoners for mining, you know? Okay, so we're back to unrest. Well, it's fine. Commoner seize power. Oh my goodness. Our justice is at 10. I don't know. Commoner seize power is a little much for me. It's a little high. I mean, like, I don't know about that. I was fine with commoners were protected. I'd be happy with it being at a 9. Plus 3. I could have done things that lowered my justice. I just needed it to at least be 6 so I could try OTTON. Okay, prisoners. Because justice is now above 8, which is well above 8. Okay. You walk down the cold steps to the prefecture dungeon. The damp air makes it hard to breathe. You were urgently summoned here after the explosion at the Three Faleras. I thought it was Falerais. The Three Falerai. Okay, interesting. The gendarmes have captured the perpetrator, a low-born girl. Soon people from the secret chancellery will be here. Their institution handles riots and crimes against imperial authority. Is it Sophia? The worst of it is that gunpowder is involved, and you were the one who succumbed to Mayor Egmont's entreaties and authorized the use of gunpowder in the silver mines. You need to get to the bottom of this before the secret chancellery comes after you. You know, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what their problem is. Behind the bars of the cell, you see Alida Siren. Oh, okay, not Sophia. An unremarkable girl, just like any other from the Brass District. She glances up at you suspiciously from under her long bangs and chuckles. Yeah, I blew him up. I'm not gonna deny it, let alone beg for mercy. I know nobles haven't got any anyway. My sister taught me that when she was hanged for making a peaceful speech in the capital. You send the gendarmes away. You need to interrogate the culprit one-on-one. Having made sure you are alone, you ask Alita where she got the gunpowder. She smirks, looking at you defiantly. This is just the beginning. We're the last straw. We're gonna destroy the old order, reduce it to nothing. I've got weapons. We've got weapons. We've got gunpowder. We aren't helpless anymore. You are interrupted by loud footsteps down the hall, accompanied by angry shouts. You have to hold your tongue. The gendarmes push another prisoner into the adjacent cell. Your heart skips a beat when you recognize him. Mayor Egmont!
Do you know who I am? I own half of the mines in Magra. Judge Brante, your gendarmes dragged me here by force. Why didn't you just summon me? I'd have come of my own free will.
The gendarmes unceremoniously lock the industrialist in the cell and report to you. This commoner is suspected of transferring gunpowder to the rebels. You once again command the gendarmes to leave you alone with the conspirators. They lock the cell securely before leaving. You, Egmont, and the rebel Alita are alone in the cold semi-darkness. Egmont clutches the bars anxiously.
Now I see. I'm accused of orchestrating the explosion at the Three Phalaris. Come closer, Brante. Your life is in as much peril as mine.
You take a step forward, approaching the bars. You feel the imprisoned industrialist's heavy breath on your face.
I'll cut right to the chase, Brante. Yes, with your help, we put the gunpowder to good use. We used it for a great cause, fighting for the rights of the lowborn. I armed the soldiers of the last straw. I'm forming my own militia. The gunpowder finally forced the nobles to take us seriously. But I'm not a madman. I'm not a butcher. The explosion in the tavern was just a way to demonstrate that we're capable of in case the Empire doesn't make any concessions. We're no longer just a rebel that can be ordered about. We achieved that in no small part thanks to your help, Judge Brante. Now the nobles will see that if they don't give us rights, we'll have to take them by force.
You look at the wealthy commoner in consternation. So, you have unwittingly become part of his conspiracy.
Yes, I concealed some parts of my plan from you, but it was ever safer for you this way. You continued your work as a judge and your fight for justice, well, while we did our part. I just wish the last straw had worked a little more cleanly.
You demand that Egmont tell you the nature of his connection to the last straw.
We made an alliance. The last straw are relentless fighters like this young lady here, and it's wonderful to see that there are people who are willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. Sadly, sometimes they leave too many clues behind.
Our cause is just. Egmont casts a disapproving sidelong glance at the rebel girl. Then he leans in ever closer and continues quietly.
But explosions and bloodshed aren't my goal. I'm going to make Anazoth the first city in the Empire where all citizens have equal rights, no matter what estate they're born to or what their lot they have. Isn't that what you've been struggling to achieve all along, Brante? Do you think this is just some fantasy? We're one step away from taking power in the city and imposing our conditions on the Overseer and the Archduke. Time is running out. Soon the secret chancellery will take us, and then our cause is doomed. Unfortunately, you'll go down with us, my friend. We're in this together, since you gave us the gunpowder. Let's not let that happen, not now, not when we're so close to sparking a genuine uprising.
You don't betray your emotions to Egmont. Your face is thoroughly concealed by the shadows.
Let us both out of this cage, me and the girl from the last straw. Help us escape. We'll make sure you're clear of any suspicion. It'll seem like we broke out on our own. The secret chancellery will be busy hunting us down, and they'll leave you alone. Meanwhile, we'll finish our preparations and strike first. You've already picked a side, Sir Brante. Now's not the time to change it. Help me escape, and you'll be one of the heroes of the uprising. But if you betray me, you'll be one of its first victims. Hurry.
Okay, we can keep them in captivity. Power goes down 1. I'm already at 0. Mayor Egmont then dies. And he hates us. -4. But he'll be dead, so what does it matter? True dead, too. And justice goes down. Justice is fine. I can sacrifice some justice. It already went up 3 with this explosion. Okay, and then I can help them escape. Now, it hurts my career. I'm a little wealthier, but I lose 10 willpower. Ooh, and I get a death. I can't do that. I am fine. I was a little bit iffy on this anyway. I don't really too much care about this situation with the rebels, and honestly, I'm not willing to die for it. True death? No, game doesn't end here. Nope. Sorry, Egmont, you're dying. See ya. Finally, you let Egmont see your face in the semi-darkness. You have had a sneer on your lips for quite some time. No, you are not going to go down because of Egmont's deception. You have your own plans in that regard. Yeah, I didn't really want to empower the commoners this way. We're doing it legally. I'm a judge. That's what I do. We're gonna work it through legally, through the books, do it right. Like, you could stage a whole rebellion and everything like that, but that's not on me. That's not on me. That's not my job. That's you, and you got caught, so your problem. And besides, the last straw's still out there anyway. Sophia's got it. I'll let her continue to do her thing. She puts pressure on them on her side. I put pressure on the nobles on my side, and on the Archneans on my end of things. But I can't help you in your end of things. I'm not one of the rebels. I'm so sorry. I have to stay in my lane.
It's too late. You can't stop it, Brant. You fool. The uprising will make mincemeat of you if you don't come to your senses. History will be on our side.
You know what? I think I'm fine. You guys need to know I'm fighting for you, just like in the legal system. I'm on your side. Hey, I let you have the gunpowder, buddy. Can only do so much for you. Or else I lose all credibility and I'm not able to do anything anymore. So too bad for you. Not listening to him, you turn around and swiftly go upstairs. It's like, oh, he's like, oh, there's no stopping it now. Good, I don't want it stopped. Like, that's not really my goal. I want you to succeed. I want commoners to have equal rights. But, like, I can't do it the rebel way. I didn't choose the path of the lawless, so I can't. Egmont's threats die out in the darkness. Doing your best to look composed, you walk up the stairs and announce that the interrogation is over. It is time to hand the prisoners over to the secret chancellery. Afterwards, you lock yourself in your office and go through all your papers in search of any evidence that could link you to Egmont. You burn all proof of your involvement in the unfortunate gunpowder affair. But this isn't all. You will have to go to other imperial institutions as well. Hopefully your connections will be enough to sever any threads leading back to you. You hear a knock at the door. Familiar figure with a cane treads heavily into your office. Felipe Alfaro, the secret chancellery advisor, carefully examines you. Oh, I don't remember this guy's voice.
You again, Sir Brant. I have just interrogated the captured insurgents.
You break into a cold sweat and do your best to maintain a calm facade. Alfaro looms over your desk, obstructing the light.
So, there is no doubt that the explosion was the handiwork of not only the last straw, but also of Mayor Egmont, whom you know well. It was particularly curious to find out who was responsible for authorizing the use of the gunpowder in his mines. He named you.
The advisor pauses and observes you. You look back at Sir Felipe dispassionately. Sir Philippe. I think I was saying Philippe, maybe. No, Felipe. Yeah, we'll do Felipe. The storm that is raging inside you must be contained. Subtly, Felipe beams at you and shrugs.
But, you know, I'd never take a commoner's word over that of a nobleman. You are a true nobleman, aren't you, Sir Brant?
You lower your head modestly.
So I thought. The noble lot is not an easy one. Even the best of us make mistakes sometimes. And this is where noble education comes into play. We nobles know how to fix our mistakes.
You explain gravely that you had no idea that allowing the use of gunpowder in the mines would lead to this. You only wanted to ensure the prosperity of the province.
I have no doubt of that. That's why you're going to do me a favor, for the sake of the province. Over the last few years, you've worked hard to satisfy the claims and pleas of the commoners. But do you know how many of insurgents could have been among them? The secret chancellery will review these cases. I hope you do not mind if I take over your office for a while. You won't need it for the time being. By my authority, I hereby declare a state of emergency in the prefecture. It will remain in effect until we have dealt with the threat of an uprising. You may go now, take a break, and don't get involved. We'll call for you when we need you again.
Alfaro installs himself in your chair and promptly begins going through your papers. He's no longer paying attention to you. You have no choice. You vacate your own office. Back home, you collapse into bed and sleep for a long time. Mayor Egmont is hanged before a huge crowd. The execution of a prominent advocate for commoners' rights infuriates them, but they are too frightened to take up arms. In addition, many say that Egmont only desired more power and profit for himself, not protection for the poor. Egmont's body is left hanging in the square in front of the city hall for a long time as a reminder of the fate awaiting anyone who attempts to defy the imperial order. That's true. You know what? He was a billionaire. So You know, that's true. You know, I thought of him when I made my stream title for today, Eating the Rich, and I was like, you know what? That Eggman guy, we were kind of on his side, and he was like a wealthy industrialist. But you know, down with him too. You spend the next month at home. The explosion allowed the secret chancellery to obtain special authority for the purpose of defeating the rebels. The gates of Anazo are locked. Citizens are commanded not to leave their homes without a good reason. The gendarmes transferred temporarily under the command of the secret chancellery prowl the city, searching houses and arresting suspicious individuals. The people they arrest usually disappear without a trace. Finally, a month later, the secret chancellery declares that the threat of rebellion has been eliminated. The gendarmes return to Alborn's command. For the first time in a long while, you go to the prefecture. Your office has hardly changed, although it is clear that it has been used daily. The inkwell is all but empty. A number of documents concerning your old cases have vanished from the drawers. You see small pots of dried blood on the carpet. Oof, yikes. They could have replaced the ink. Kind of unfortunate they stole my paperwork, but you know, it's fine. Okay, he doesn't like me, but guess what? He's dead. Haha. Struggle for power. It's fine. Okay. Commoners are protected still. So justice is still fine. We're still at 7. The whole thing went up and then went down. It's fine. Final preparations. Is this for OTTON's trial? Hold on, I'm gonna take a drink. Like I said, convicting OTTON is like really the one thing I want out of this game. And if it means my last death, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's what I am sacrificing myself for. Is convicting OTTON and stopping OTTON. I need to do it. And that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. For all future Archeans as well, to be held accountable. And OTTON to be held accountable. If he can be held accountable, anyone can. And that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll sacrifice myself for that. I'll go down for that. Okay, final preparations. The carriage takes you down the city's narrow streets. They are filled with noble carriages and commoners hurrying about their business, but the driver skillfully avoids them all. You watch the city uneasily from behind the carriage doors. The past few months have been so tense and challenging, they felt like a single unbearable moment. You had to face one ordeal after another, and OTTON's case sometimes fell by the wayside. But you have no doubt the outcome of this case will determine your fate. Your previous encounters with the haughty commander have assured you of that. The time to strike OTTON down is coming soon. Right now, you need to make your final preparations. Your gut tells you that time is running out. Either you seize the initiative, or OTTON will destroy you himself. But what should you focus on at this critical juncture? You consider your options. Okay, we're definitely not going to bide our time, because it's not... Okay, it gives us more willpower, but... We can't start a rumor among the aristocracy, because our diplomacy is still too low. Ugh, man. But it would take a lot of willpower, too. We can address the people with a speech. It improves justice. It takes 10 willpower, though. And that's if justice is below an 8. And we do have high enough eloquence, and we do have willpower, but we can also just bide our time. Okay, the benefit of this is getting justice up. I think this is only... They give me this option if right now... What was the benefit of this one? Improving my career. What do I need my career to be? Oh, I forget. It said the conditions at the beginning of the chapter, and I forget what they needed to be for career. Hopefully a 5 is enough. Well, I mean, I can't do this anyway, so it doesn't matter. But this one would be how to get your career up. Oh, if it's below an 8. I don't know. I think a career will be fine. I don't want to waste my... It doesn't matter. I can't do anything, so it doesn't matter. I can only improve justice, but justice is good. I've been keeping an eye on the justice. That was the one I was worried about. For some reason, I wasn't worried about my career, which I probably should have been. But 5 is, like, about as good as it's been this whole game, so, like... I'll buy my time. I feel like I need more willpower. Because that stuff you throw out left and right. Okay. You rub your hands together in satisfaction. And like I said, would go to justice, but I think... Because it was the beginning of the chapter, it said that the conditions for convicting OTTON were going to be 7. Justice is what I needed. And then because I gathered evidence, it said all the conditions are 1 lower than they would have needed to be. So I think I need a 6 now. And it is a 7, so it even fits by the past standards. And then definitely with the altered conditions. If that does change the justice threshold. But then... So I think that's what that choice was giving me an option if I needed to swap willpower for justice or swap willpower for career if I needed. But I don't have a high enough career points, so I can't do career anyway. Justice, I don't think I need more justice, so why would I give up willpower for more justice? And again, if other people might have lower justice at the time, so maybe they would find that a useful thing to do. But I don't think I need that, so I'll take the willpower. It's the better option for me. Because I feel pretty happy. I've been setting the dominoes in place this whole time. I've been orchestrating this pretty much my entire adult life as Sir Brante here. So I'm ready. I'm ready. You rub your hands together in satisfaction. Soon, very soon, OTTON will be the only one unaware of his inevitable downfall. You tell the driver to take you home. You will take this time to rest up and regain your strength before the most trying challenge of your life. I'm ready to die. But if I die, I am taking OTTON down with me. Whatever it takes, OTTON is going down. That is my mission in life. There's a lot of things going on in the world of this game, and obviously I can't do all of it. So I focused on one thing, and it is taking down OTTON. That is my goal. He reminds me of guys I don't like in books. He's kind of okay, so he's the rival character, but he's the irredeemable rival. So in Harry Potter, there's Draco, right? And he's he redeems himself in the end. He redeems himself, and he has reasons, and he is just the rival. He's a petty rival. Right? He's nothing in comparison to Voldemort. He's just a rival for Harry. It's a childish thing. That's really all it is. And he's in situations he doesn't want to be in. He has a deep backstory that, demons he's fighting, it's different. But in Name of the Wind, Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss, Ambrose is also the rival. But as far as we're aware, the villain, because there is no other... Well, the Chandrian are the actual villain. They're the Voldemort. But Ambrose is the rival, and I hate Ambrose. I hate Ambrose so much. So much. And so OTTON here is... He's triggering my Ambrose sensors, you see. And so that's what part of the reason why I am so determined to bring him down. Because I see him as Ambrose. So he's going down. He's going down. I have picked him as my goal in this game, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Again, I know you can't do everything. Games like this where choices really do matter and there are different branches, I clearly cannot do all of the branches, because if you put your points in one category, it means you're not getting them in another category. But I will try to bring down OTTON. That's the path I'm taking. That is my path in life in this game. Like I said, my will that I'm going back as is for this last life is the will of history, and that is what I believe my mission is. My importance to history is convicting OTTON, and everything comes after that. The last straw, they'll take it upon themselves once we can start trying Arachnians and convicting Arachnians. And potentially this will start crumbling down the Court of Honor or whatever the heck it's called. Yeah, this is it's an important step. It's an important step. And just like that other guy was a martyr, Anthony Fess was a martyr for his cause and for the last straw, I too will be a martyr. I mean, I was kind of also a martyr there, but I too will be a martyr when it comes to trying Arachnians. And that's why I risked a life back with Anthony Fess. Not risked, I gave up a life in the Anthony Fess trial because it was for my cause of being able to lead cases to convict Arachnians. And that's what I want to do here. That is my goal. I took the path of a judge, and that's what I can do as a judge. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, continuing. I'm passionate about this. The hour has come. You stand at the window of your office and watch the living streets below, exhausted. For over a year, Anazote has been steadily simmering with unrest, like a soup pot over a well-stoked flame. Didn't we use that recently? Or did I, already read this? The endless feud between the Archduke and the Overseer, the first trials against nobles, insurgencies flaring up all across the Empire, grim, heavy, dark red storm clouds now hang in the sky above Anazote. Preachers of the new faith fill the streets, urging the people to reject their lots. The abbot of the Temple of the Silver Tree, Father Leonard, has turned the city's most ancient church into a new believer stronghold. Commoners flock to the square in droves. The mobs grow bolder and bolder as they demand new freedoms and protection under the law. Commoners have begun forming armed militias. The last straw insurgents commit brazen acts, hoping to overthrow the authorities. The nobles of the sword demand that every mob be dispersed by force. They are ready to fight for their ancient privileges, sword in hand. You cast a glance back at your desk, still covered with piles of paperwork for OTTON's case. You have been working on it for over 2 years now. This case will have to reach a conclusion someday, but when? Will you be able to free yourself from the mortal peril into which it has drawn you? Your thoughts are interrupted by heavy footsteps and clacking hooves. That's him! Oh, I hate him. The square in front of the prefecture quickly clears as workers and merchants do their best to flee. A Legion battalion is advancing on the prefecture. It is led by Dorius OTTON on horseback and in full armor. He rides right up to the steps. The square resounds with his commanding voice. I am Dorius OTTON, High Commander of this province, and I come to demand justice. I have proof that a judge named Sir Brante has been collecting slander for years, seeking to tarnish the OTTON name. I have already warned this judge, and I will not stand idly by in the face of an insult. To accuse me is to undermine the rule of the Ocnians, our noble traditions, and the sacred order of the Empire itself. I demand that a stop be put to this campaign of defamation. I expect Judge Brante to burn his so-called case right now. Until that happens, my battalion is under orders to treat all those who serve at the prefecture as traitors to the crown. No one will leave this building until I see these vile accusations against an Ocnian dynasty burned to ash. No. Elborn comes rushing into your office. He is pale as a ghost, but trying his hardest to remain composed. Sir, OTTON caught us off guard. I knew we should have begun his trial much sooner. He has the upper hand now. No one will come to our aid. We must give OTTON a reply. It's all up to you now, Sir Brante. This is it, the moment of truth. How will you respond to OTTON's ultimatum? Without a word, you stare out the window again. Without saying a word, you stare out the window again. The sky is dark and overcast, thunder echoing in the distance. The Legion soldier stands still, awaiting new orders. OTTON's horse is right by the stairs as he waits your reply. The past several years flash before your eyes. Cases and verdicts, threats and promises, decisions and deeds. Where have they led you? Your career, your province? How will you approach the task of rebuffing one of the mightiest Archnians in the province? It will all be decided now. Okay. So all I can do is charge him with crimes. I cannot summon him to trial. Because justice is less than 10. And because I don't have evidence. But I do. I'm not protector of the people. Hold on. Okay, this is... If justice is less than 10, then... A court. I don't want to bring him to the court of honor. I don't want to. Yeah, because we'd have to have betrayed Elborn. Yeah, that's not something we did. We do have evidence though, which is why we can charge him. And justice is above 7, but below 10. And we have not betrayed. That's what we wanted to begin with. This is the one we set up, burn the case, and we definitely don't want to do this. Literally nothing happens. Forfeit the struggle and do. There's no response. There's no reaction. There's no consequences for this. We could call Gaius Tempest, if we had patronage of the powerful and if we didn't have evidence. So for this one and this one, that's only if we don't have evidence, but we do. So even if I had gone the other route and done Protector of the People, which was what would have happened if I hadn't used up my life with Anthony Fess, I believe, was when we could have gotten Protector of the People. I think that was where it was. Or maybe it was the last one. No, it was with Anthony Fess, I think. And we could have gotten Protector of the People. But I don't think we could have done this one because, one, justice is not above 8. And also, because we do have, so even if justice was above 8 and we got protect the people, because we have evidence against OTTON, we cannot summon him to trial. And the only thing we can do with evidence, I mean, besides burning the case, but like, useful, that we can do, since we do have evidence, is we can bring him to the court of honor, or we could charge OTTON with crimes. I mean, obviously we're going to choose this one, right? But just walking us through the kind of coming to terms with our options, since I don't really get to choose. It sometimes makes me frustrated. But if we had, so considering if we had a high enough career, which is what this is for, we'd either be able to bring him to the court of honor, or we also would have had to betray Elborn, which we don't, he's not betrayed. Which is also another thing. But even if, like, the point is, we do not want to go to the court of honor. Because I don't like them. We want to disband them anyway, and they're not banned, which, you know, is one of the things that we do have fulfilled for this. But I don't want to bring them to the court of honor. I don't want to support the court of honor. We're a judge, an actual judge. We're going to charge him with crimes. Yes. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to do. Anyway, that was my goal, and I did it. At least out of those options. I don't know how the case is actually going to go down, but we can at least charge him. So here we go. The hour has come. You descend the stairs and walk to the door of the prefecture, ready to meet OTTON face to face. You have worked hard to defend the rule of law within the province, and your efforts have borne fruit. Commoners, nobles, even Archneans, all are now equal before the law. It is thanks to you that this change has taken root, both in and out of court. You have had to sacrifice your own career and your family's reputation. You have been intimidated and shunned by your peers. But now you will see this through to the very end. OTTON is not just any noble Archnean. He is the High Commander of the province, the right hand of Archduke Melanidas. But he will stand trial nonetheless. Your evidence is overwhelming, and after the people hear of this, the court will have no choice but to find him guilty. You approach OTTON and face him. He dismounts his horse, but, clad in a full suit of ancient armor, the Archnean is still a head taller than you. Here you are at last, Brante. You obeyed me and came out. A wise choice. But where are all the papers you are to burn? You stare down the High Commander and tell him that his case awaits him in the court of law to which he has been summoned. You hereby accuse Dorius OTTON of murdering 19 servants of the Empire. The trial will begin 3 days hence and is open to all citizens of Anisote. You vile wretch! How dare you give orders to an Archnean? Or do you want me to round up the tally and make it 20? Is that a confession? You do not even flinch at his words. Behind you, the pillars of the prefecture, the stronghold of law and justice, reach up for the sky. You notice people flocking to the square, taking heed of your voice. Have no fear, Judge Brante, they shout. Protect the judge. The commoners form a living wall between you and the furious Archnean warrior. They get it. They see what I'm trying to do. Sorry that I had to let Egmont die. Sorry that, you know, the Anthony Fast thing didn't go perfectly. But look, I'm out for the commoners. It's a long process. I'm doing it my own way, and I appreciate their protection. Battalion, prepare for battle. Disperse the mob. But the Legion soldiers behind OTTON are already faltering. The Legionnaires no longer wish to tolerate the murderer of their brothers in arms. The battalion captain stares at OTTON, his eyes like daggers. Sheath your swords, he commands his men. About face. To the barracks. March. Abandoned, the Archnean looks around in confusion, alone and armor-clad, like a painting of old brought to life. Traitors! How dare you call yourselves nobles? You will all pay for this, even the last of you. As for you, Brante, your low-born cronies and your foul court. OTTON leaps into the saddle and flees the square, booed by the resentful crowd. You let out a loud sigh. Only now do you realize how incredibly tense you felt. Elborn's hand comes to rest on your shoulder. We've won, sir. OTTON is already lost, whether he knows it or not. Prepare for the trial, Brante. I'm gonna have a busy next few days. I mean, I'm ready, though. I'm ready. The sky over Anisote splits apart, showering the dust-covered streets with long-awaited rain. I'm so ready for this. Let's go. OTTON's sentence. I wonder if I'm going to die. That's the thing. As I'm pretty sure I'm going to convict him. I think. I don't know, but everyone seems to be pretty sure of this. They've said some things. They said my evidence is overwhelming. Elborn thinks it's gonna happen, but I'm worried that I'm gonna die. Hold on, I want to take a drink. Okay. The day of the trial has come. The large prefecture courtroom is overcrowded. The gentry rarely, if ever, visit this place, to say nothing of the Ardnian dynasties. But this is an unprecedented occasion. The man about to stand trial is an Ardnian, one born to rule. Dorius of the OTTON dynasty, the High Commander of Magra, the Archduke's second in command. All of the elite provincial aristocracy is here today to show their support for OTTON. You see Magistrate Elverman among them, as well as many other nobles you have angered as a judge. I hate Elverman, it's fine. The noblemen are restless, clutching uneasily at the hilts of their swords. Prefect Elborn presides over the trial. Gaius Tempest occupies the seat of honor next to him. The overseer's face remains coldly indifferent. Your time has come. You walk to the podium, step after step. The weight of their gaze is on your back. Thanks to your efforts, commoners and nobles must now face trial equally. Those born to rule have no choice but to submit to the justice system, step by step. The future depends on what you are about to say. You begin the opening statement for the prosecution. First, you say that Sir Dorius OTTON, a high-born noble, has been found in violation of the Emperor's ban on dueling, with ample evidence to that effect. Enough of this! I've already wasted far too much time on this pathetic trial. So you want my money, eh, Judge? Very well, I'll pay all the fines. The OTTON bloodline can afford them and more. But I was born into my lot. That lot is to wage war and kill. Thus do I serve the divine design. And no once-born, low-born human is going to teach me how to live by my lot. In sight of Gaius Tempest, a fellow nobleman born to rule, I demand an end to this disgraceful farce. May no Ardnian ever be summoned again to this filthy courtroom fit for peasants and petty merchants. The stalls grow silent. All eyes turn to the overseer. Gaius Tempest winces and knits his brow. He casts a glance over the nobles gathered in the courtroom, then nods for Elborn to continue. In one sense, Sir OTTON, you are correct. It truly is disgraceful to see an Ardnian stoop so low that he must be brought before this court. The trial will continue. Sir Brante, please conclude your opening statement. You move on to the core of your accusation, speaking with such force that it shakes the stalls. OTTON has not merely violated the dueling ban. He has taken lives of at least 19 of his subordinates, all loyal servants of the Emperor. This is murder. It is an act of sabotage against the Legion. It is treason against the Emperor himself. You speak these last words right in OTTON's face. All the grumbling voices from the stalls immediately grow quiet. The High Commander turns pale with fury. Gaius Tempest, you are an overseer. You hail from the Emperor's own bloodline. Are you going to allow this unprincipled human scum to decide an Ardnian's fate? Why, this is nothing more than a bid to seize power, the very power that has flowed through our veins since the Empire was founded. Gaius Tempest rises from his seat, his calm countenance twisted with rage. The Imperial Court of Justice is that very power. Muffled gasps and quiet cries echo from the stalls. The High Commander grits his teeth and stares defiantly at Gaius Tempest. And you are the traitor here, Your Grace. You are the one who has betrayed the province, nay, the entire Empire, by condemning us to the mercy of humans and their lowly, dishonorable law. Archduke Melanidas is the only one who still remembers his honor as an Ardnian and a noble, and justice is on his side. I say this before the entire aristocracy of Anazote. The nobles in the stalls who have come to stand with OTTON recoil in terror. His supporters retreat further into the recesses of the courtroom. You are mad, OTTON. Be quiet, or I shall silence you permanently. Proceed with the verdict, Prefect. Elborn exchanges a meaningful glance with you and ascends to the podium. Dorius OTTON, for violating the ban on dueling, manslaughter of Imperial servants, a treason against Overseer Gaius Tempest, this court hereby deprives you of your sword and sentences you to eternal exile from the province of Magra. OTTON stands still, unmoving, unflinching. The gendarmes cautiously approach the Ardnian to take his sword. OTTON suddenly draws the blade himself,
and hands it to the officers of the court. OTTON's sword comes to rest in your hands. The entire courtroom watches you, holding its breath. Raising your old nemesis's weapon above your head, you turn to face the courtroom. You snap OTTON's blade in half. The venerable old steel shatters with a ringing sound, reduced to pathetic, broken fragments. I'm sure it broke really fast. Blood trickles down your arms, but you do not notice the pain. OTTON's eyes are dead and empty as he stares at you. He staggers to his feet and tumbles out the door and walks away. Stumbles out the door and walks away. His steps echo loudly in the deafening silence of the courtroom. Dorius OTTON, once the High Commander in Magra, has been stripped of his sword and banished to exile. Your bloodied hands still clutch the verdict. Today marks a precedent, the likes of which the Empire has never seen. The old ways will never be the same. Thanks to you, change has been put in motion. There is no stopping it now. Yes, I would have preferred for him to die, but you know what? I will take exile. I will take it. He hates us, but you know what? Good. Good. Magra's better. Order has gone up a little bit. It's good. All good. Yes, I got an achievement. Verdict. Okay. I'm gonna take a drink. Okay. OTTON is sentenced. Justice equals 8 or 9. Did justice go up at all? I thought it was at 7. Or are the conditions one lower? Like it said, I don't know. Anyway. Alborn is not betrayed, and we are either a protector of the people or we have evidence against OTTON. And we do have evidence against OTTON, so yes. We convict Commander OTTON in a court of law. Yes, that was my goal! That was the whole goal of my career as a judge. Yes. I did it. I did it. That was my help. After this, I can do whatever you need for me to help the commoners. I don't care. Except for my family, but you know, our family's I already killed my brother and our mother died, so like it's not looking good. So I need to find a new purpose in life. It's the end of the chapter. Peaceful. I'm surprised I didn't die. I thought somehow sentencing OTTON would have been the last thing that I do. I thought that would have been a death. I was definitely willing to spend my death on that. Okay, that means I'm gonna have to spend my death on something during the revolt years. I'm gonna die. And the question will be, there will be a lot of options probably will come up to die. And the question will be, what am I willing to die for? And that's kind of scary. Peaceful years are over. The storm of the revolt is brewing in Anizote. Tomorrow will be the day when you will reap the harvest of all your deeds during these 8 years. Okay, so what has happened? Important life events. We began service at the prefecture. We made a promise to Alborn. Yeah, we did, to fight against the nobility. We had an affair with Octavia. We made a deal with Egmont to give him gunpowder. OTTON's case, we started getting evidence against OTTON. We dueled Stephen and killed him. Our mother died. Octavia turned into an alien. Gloria became a Brante. Thomas got married, and we saved him from death and all that a few times. And then he got married, now he's happy. And OTTON is exiled. So that was a successful life, I think. Successful years of life. We're not done. But I'd call it a success to end it here.
At last,
but
the day has come which would decide my fate, as well as that of my family, and perhaps the entire Empire. The day of the revolt.
Oh my goodness. Revolt begins. Conditions met. OTTON is sentenced. Wait, would the revolt not have begun if... I think it just needed any ending from the last chapter, I think. The revolt begins. Word about the sentence you passed upon the Archneid commander instantly spreads throughout Anizote. The commoners are celebrating. For the first time, the law has proven to be more powerful than the ancient authority of the Archnians. Actually, wait. I should probably... What's our life look like again? Destiny? We're in chapter 5. I probably should
ended here. Yeah, we're 28. Did it have the little walking scene? Somehow I missed that. Where we get to see the, like, layout of our life. Is that one of these here? The revolt? We have a new thing! We have new stats. Oh my gosh. We'll catch up with this next time, I think. Yeah. These are all my relations. I wish you could see at a glance what all your relations are. Like on the little line they have below them, that'd be nice, but... Okay. I think we'll end it here. We'll end it here for tonight. That was less... Like, that was more like, it wasn't anticlimactic per se, but it was way less dramatic than I thought. Man, killing Steven last week was, like, way worse. Like, that was rough. That was rough. Here, like, our mother dying was somehow worse than, like, not worse, but, like, a bigger deal than sentencing OTTON, and I, like, didn't care about our mother in this game. Eggman dying was somehow even a bigger deal. Even Anthony Fest, I died in the Anthony Fest trial. Like, I gave up a life for that one. And that, like, I didn't even give up a life for OTTON. That's crazy. Anyway. So yeah, so calling it here for today. I'll be back streaming on Saturday. Thanks for everyone who hung out and chatted or lurked and all of that. I appreciate people hanging around and being here, keeping me company. But yeah, so, hopefully, like, I'm kind of ready for, like, crazy things to go down in this game, because, like, I don't know, I'm just disappointed with how OTTON's trial went. Anyway, I'll be back playing this next week, probably Thursday again, because Sunday I'll probably do, Saturday is Phasmophobia, it's already planned. Sunday I will probably do Paranormicite some more, because, like, that game has not been disappointing me. I have been delighted by that game. This game, however, is, like I said, disappointed with OTTON's trial, to be honest. So definitely not feeling like jumping back into this immediately on Sunday. So Thursday. Next Tuesday, I will find something else to stream, something new. I don't want it to be something where I talk a lot, like not a reading sort of narrative-driven game. Because, like I said, I kind of want to space those out for the sake of my voice. So pick something else. And then Sunday there will be Paranormicite. Tuesday will be something new. This will be on Thursday, and then I don't know about next Saturday. But this Saturday is Phasmophobia, at 8 o'clock PST on Saturday. So that's the plan. And I'll be continuing to post VODs up on YouTube, one a day until I get caught up. I'm like months behind, whoops. And so if you want to watch past things, you can follow along on there. And also I changed some microphone settings, in OBS here, for this stream. So hopefully audio is okay. I'll have to review later. But yeah, so, have a good night, have a good couple days, and I'll be back on Saturday for Phasmophobia. Yes, Phasmophobia is the one. I had to stop and think about it. A lot of the games sound very similar. So yeah, so Phasmophobia on Saturday. So yeah, alright. Thanks for hanging out and all that, and goodbye. See you next time.